I'm going to start by building a very, very simple tree shape for my tree house using a set of pieces that are just perfect for it. Now, you may not have exactly these pieces. I'm going to show another example in a moment. So I'm stacking a bunch of round brown bricks to make a very solid tree trunk, and then I have a nice rounded octagonal green plate that I can stick on top. And you see, that gives me a very strong support for my tree, a really strong tree trunk, and then a good wide base to build my little tree house on for the tree top. Now I'm going to show you how to do it if you don't have the set of pieces I just showed you. So here I have a couple of big brown rock panels. You might have something like this, and I have a bunch of regular bricks. So and you can see that I'm just building strong walls, and I'm making a wide square shape, and I'm overlapping my bricks so they all hold together. These pieces come apart easily because they're not attached yet, but on this next level I'm going to go in a step here, maybe out a little bit here, and I'm putting bricks on in a way that means that everything is held together now. These rock panels are held in as well. And it doesn't matter if the shape that you build is a bit uneven in places. What matters is that you make a strong shape that is going to be wide enough at the top to really hold up the base of your green bit that you're going to build your house on. So this is my new tree trunk, and now I'm going to make myself, I have a collection of green plate pieces here, and I'm going to try and put them together to make an interesting tree shape. I'm going to use this one underneath to hold them all together, and then on top I'm going to try and make all the rest of the plates be level with each other so that I get a nice flat shape to build my tree house on. Now, I've taken these off the tree trunks for the moment to work with them on the table because that's easier. So you see, here's a base for a tree house right here, and here's a base for a tree house right here. I'm not going to build out on the edges where it's uneven. I'm going to stay in the middle on this one. And I've gathered some possible window pieces. I'm not going to have a door on my treehouse, not one of those proper Lego doors that opens and shuts. I'm going to use an archway as the entrance. And so that's the same as putting in a door, in the sense that you need to plan ahead when you start your walls. You need to say which side is the front of your treehouse. And on that side, you need to plan that there's going to be a gap in the walls that is 4 studs wide. The gap made by this arch brick is 4 studs wide. And the windows are going to go in at the sides. I'm going to work out where they go as I go along, but generally I don't put windows in until I'm at least 3 blocks high. And for little windows like this, 4 blocks, because that makes the windows the right height for the Lego minifigure to look out of. You see, I've made the bottom shape of this treehouse. Now I'm going to go over here and look at the bottom shape for this treehouse. I'm going to do this one in white. Now this one, I'm going to use this as a big fancy window, and it's probably going to go in sooner than I would normally do a window. I think I'm going to put it in right now, and I'm going to put it on the side. And as we go up, mainly when we've finished, but I'm going to add them in right now, I have collected some green bricks that I'm going to add in places to look like extra leaves, because the tree doesn't, the leaves on the tree, of course, are not supposed to be totally flat the way our base was. So look, I've built up a little bit there to hold up the bottom of this window. Now, this one now. This one, you see, has a nice big arched door and then a very open bit where you can look out the window, and then little teeny windows over on this side. And all four walls come up to exactly the same height, so that we could put on a flat roof if we want. On this one, which is smaller and simpler, it just has the arch at the front and window at the back. Because I built with brown bricks, I have the advantage I can actually pretend that this one is a continuation of the tree. Maybe this is a hollow tree and this little house is actually built into the tree. So I'm going to use this brick here, which looks like a branch. And over here I'm going to stick out a little bit as well. And then over here I'll just add some random branch start pieces. So then on this one I'm going to fill in, now I have an uneven top that I can't put a flat roof onto, I'm going to fill in the empty bits with green pieces to look like leaves sticking out between the branches. There we go. Right, I'm going to keep on adding green bricks and moving in to make a leafy top. And you see I keep doing a few steps in, there's still a hole in the middle, but that'll get filled in on the next level. And I'm trying to make my edges be uneven. And now here I choose some slightly longer bricks to go bridge that gap. There we go. So you see this looks like a good treetop. Maybe add a few leaves, bushy bits on the lower bits of it. Like this. And then originally this piece went with this tree trunk, but because I've decided this is the hollow tree, actually would work better with a really wide tree base, which this is. So we'll stick this on top. Back to this tree house. So we're not pretending this bit is the tree. So it doesn't make sense for the roof to be green. A roof width. I like the idea of a red roof. We want it to stick out over here, covering our little veranda. And then over here. Of course, we could try and make this roof slope upwards if we use red bricks and each time you go up, you take a step in at the sides, like you're building steps. And again, here where you have this gap, try and use the larger bricks to bridge that gap. And there we go. There is our tree. So, here are my finished tree houses. I hope you like your tree house. The one last touch I'm going to add is to put a ladder so the minifigures can get in and out. Now, you may have a ladder piece like this with clips on the end, and you simply need to find a plate that you can clip it to and stick it on hanging down from the front. If you don't have a ladder like that, there's a bunch of different things you can do. I've built the ladder for my other tree house. I used a long 2-stud wide plate and then a series of 1x4 plates with gaps in between to make the steps, and I think it's just about the right height to set up at the entrance to my other tree house. Happy building!